Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Masters of the Universe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Masters of the Universe Masterverse, Masters of the Universe Revelation, Retired Man-at-Arms. Let's get into it! Let's begin our exile with a look at the packaging. And here we have on the top 30 points of articulation and a barcode, Masterverse, and that now classic Masterverse crack scroll etched packaging with a little bit of a window there on the top. Nice big window on the front showcasing the figure and all of his accessories. Netflix original series. Well, yes, 6 and up. Masters of the Universe Revelation Man-at-Arms. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in Vietnam print, MattelShop.com print. Contents, 1 figure, accessories, a question mark, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side, Man-at-Arms, heroic master of weapons, and the most dangerous man on Eternia. On this side, nice artwork of Duncan. And on the back side, some more nice artwork of Duncan, rather. And he's fixing to blast something all to bits. Man-at-Arms, heroic master of weapons. King Randor stripped Duncan of his title as the royal man-at-arms and banished him from the kingdom under penalty of death. He lived in exile for years until one day his daughter Tila came seeking his help. Though bound by both decree from the king and his own honor, Duncan arms himself for the battle against evil with the fate of Eternia once again on the line. And here's the cross sale. Sorceress Evil Inn, Frosta, Revelation Roboto, and New Eternia Stratos. Also available each sold separately, subject to availability. Colors and decoration may vary. Mattel, empowering the next generation through play. And that, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And let's start off with the accessories and handy dandy tweezers here. Here he comes with a pair of C-grip hands. One for the left and right. This one on an up and down hinge. So we're starting to see those spread out from He-Man. And then here's the other one, and it's on an in and out hinge. Here's the helmeted head. I have to say, it looks okay. If a little small, in my opinion. But we'll see how it compares up in a minute. But nice paint apps on it. His hair sticking out from under it. That's nice. Got a little bit of gray in the beard there. Now let's take a look at his armor. And this just kind of slides over his forearm. It's got some nice paint apps on it. And it looks pretty cool. Paint app there. So that's nice. And then here's the upper piece, which I think is I think it's the same as the other Man-at-Arms, maybe not. Let's take a look real quick. And it is not the same. As you can see there. And while we got this one out, let's take a look at the head. And maybe the head is a little bit smaller, but it's not as small as I felt like it was. And then he has two, a left and a right, shin armor, which are the opposites of each other. Looks like, well, this one looks a little bit larger and this one a little bit smaller. And of course they are completely different than his other shin armor, which he only had one of. Then here's his chest armor, which may be a new mold, or it may just be retooled to add this piece, this abdomen cover on it, because it mostly looks the same. So they may have just added this piece within the belt on it for that. And then here's this shoulder gun, which attaches to the chest armor. There's a post here and a post here, and a port in the front shoulder and a port in the back shoulder. And you just kind of line those up and snap it in. And then this also has two hinged doors on it, and it opens up. And then you can close it back up. So that's pretty cool. And then here's this big honking gun. And I mean, it is big. And there's a port in it right here, so we may fit some, like, I don't know, maybe some Marvel Legends or Transformers blast effects might fit in this port. That would be kind of cool. I may check that out. Let's take a look at the figure himself. And the sculpt overall is pretty nice. I mean, the head, it looks okay. It's still, I don't know why it looks like, to me, it's small. It may just be because he's not wearing any kind of armor or overlays or anything. And it's just a, you know, plain size Masters of the Universe figure. So that may be why I'm feeling like he's a little bit small, but it just seems that way. Nice paint apps here on the head and the eyes, and then this is a separate piece, and of course the cloth is a separate piece, and then nice textured molding all throughout the figure. A few paint apps here and there where needed. Let's talk about his articulation. He doesn't really look up too far. He looks down about that far. He doesn't chicken neck. He's got just some slight waggle in there, and stuff gets in the way, but he can do the full Exorcist. At the shoulder, not quite 90-degree bend at the shoulder. Full 360-degree rotation. Cut at the upper bicep for another 360-degree rotation. Double hinged pinless elbow gives you that much bend. 360-degree rotation at the wrist on an in and out hinge, and in and out hinge on the other side as well. Cut here where the chest and the abdomen meet. Gives you some hula. Gives him a little bit of twist left and right. He can bend this way. He can bend this way. He can bend backwards that far and crunch forward that far on that hinge. And then there is a cut at the waist for another 360-degree rotation at the hips. Gives you that much of the splits. This gets in the way a little bit, but as you can see, it is split, so that it does help allow for the articulation. He kicks forward about that far and backwards maybe 2 steps, step and a half. Cut at the upper thigh for a 360-degree rotation. Double hinged, pinless knee gives you that much bend. Then there's a cut at the upper shin that gives you another 360-degree rotation. At the ankle, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and it does have a forward-facing pin for rocker. Now here we have Duncan all armed up. And this is the way I believe the shin guards go, with the strap pieces clicking on the inside. And you do have to take the neckerchief off, and of course the head, and this belt gets replaced with this belt. And then this is why he has the up and down hinge, so that he can hold his big old gun on his shoulder. And I did try to fit Marvel Legends and Transformers blast effects in this port, and they don't work. Maybe if you put a little bit of paper and one of the Transformers blast effects in there, it'll hold it, because the Transformers ones were just slightly small. The Marvel Legends effects were just like super small for that port. So but there's how he looks, all armored up, ready to battle the forces of retirement. And that does it, my friends, for a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of review comparisons. And here we have the Revelation Banished Man-at-Arms next to the pre-banished Revelation Man-at-Arms and pre-quitting Captain of the Guard Teela from Revelation. Here we have Revelation Banished Man-at-Arms with Revelation Roboto and Revelation Post-Quitting Teela. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Masterverse Revelation Retired or Exiled Man-at-Arms with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, we have the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, we have the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And our final Masterverse comparison, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Masters of the Universe, Masters of the Universe Revelation, what I'm going to call Banished Man-at-Arms, I have to say, overall, it's a good figure. It does, just looking at it by itself, it does feel a bit on the small side, especially the head. But when you start comparing it up with the other figures in the line, you see that really is not the case. He just doesn't look quite as bulky as the other figures without his armor and stuff on. And as far as his armor and accessories go, I mean, this guy's loaded with accessories. And you could probably, I hadn't tried this on the other Man-at-Arms, but you could probably take these and fit it on the other Revelation Man-at-Arms, the pre-Banished Man-at-Arms, and make a New Eternia Man-at-Arms, which is a good idea. The only problem being that if you use the up and down hinged hand that comes with this one, it won't match the rest of Man-at-Arms. And as far as that particular accessory goes, up and down hinge, I am glad to see that they are putting it in where it's, I guess, necessary, rather than just in He-Man figures so he can hold his sword aloft and say the magic words. So this one also comes with that up and down hinge, and that's great, especially for his big shoulder cannon thing. And I like the design of the armor and stuff. It really looks really good, in my opinion. Your mileage, of course, may vary. Now, one big detractor of this, and I know any of you guys that watch my stuff regularly are going to know, there's no wire in the cape, or the cloak, whatever you want to call it. Now, the material itself is okay. It doesn't lay real great. It's almost like the cloak that came with Andra. And, you know, it's okay. It's not great. A little bit of wire would have really helped it, and maybe not so many flaps or folds or whatever you want to call them. But other than that, you know, the cloak is, it's just okay. It's there. It, in my opinion, and again, your mileage may vary, doesn't work very well with the armor, the chest armor. It doesn't work very well with that. Like this, it works okay. And again, it really, okay, I'm going to stop harping on wire in the cloak, because you guys know that's something that I really feel should be basic at this point in soft goods, period. But again, overall, I have to say this is a pretty good figure. Its value really lies in its accessories more than the figure itself. I'm not a big fan of the helmeted head sculpt that comes with this figure. It's okay. This head sculpt actually, without the helmet, looks better, even though it tends to look a little bit small, in my opinion. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews, or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.